Hey everyone, this is Drew. This is Erin right next to me, my lovely, beautiful wife. We are doing a podcast.
We are, and it has a really cool name. Drew came up with it, or I'm going to credit him for it. It's called While Our Kids Are Sleeping.
Yes, kind of came to me a few days ago, actually about a week ago, and kind of before that, we've always wanted to do a podcast. We didn't know what. Erin reads a lot. We're like, oh, cool, you can read a book and you can tell me a book. And I was just like, I don't know if that will work. I don't think I'll get into it. Also, like sports.
Yeah, Drew's really into golf, which she's kind of, I would say, reeled me into it as well. Like, I enjoy it, but it's not something that I love like he does.
Yeah.
So and I feel like golf's been done a lot, sports have been done a lot in general.
Exactly.
So we just didn't want to do something everybody else is doing, and there's not a whole lot of input I could put into that.
Well, and that's not a problem at all. Like, you love the Braves. Like, right now as we speak here, got the Braves and the
home run derby is on tonight, and well, we can't watch it on TV because we're doing this, so I'm just trying to keep up with it on my phone.
So yeah, anyways, but so I kind of was like randomly thinking about it, and we have some of the best conversations at night when we finally got our kids down to sleep. Now we have 3 little boys, all under the age of 5. We have
5, 3, and 1.
5, 3, and 1. We'll definitely talk about them in the podcast, but the main theme of our podcast is pretty much, everything.
Yeah, conversations that we have once we get the boys in bed. We come down here. We literally just sit on the couch for like 5 minutes and collect ourselves. And then we just start talking about whatever, like, this happened today, or did you read this, or did you hear about this? And we kind of just like go into tangents about anything you can think of.
Yeah, pretty much anything. Now, we have a lot of things that we're passionate about, like I said, Braves, golf, but we have our own business. We started a film business, 6 years ago. It was like months right after we got married. It's called Drew Erin. I'll probably show some kind of clips here or something like that. But so we've been doing that. That's something we love. It kind of helps with doing this because we're using all the gear that we use for filming weddings.
Yep.
Just very excited about it. It could be awesome. It could be amazing. It could be really lame.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be very lame. Right now, this is our very first episode, so we're kind of like
feeling it out.
Yeah,
see how things go.
Yeah, a little nervous because we're like, okay, wait, okay, what's the next talking point? Whatever. So we're trying to go with the flow. We're trying, but
which is really hard for Drew because he is a little bit OCD.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting to see how we go with that.
Yeah. So very excited. We'll put it on our YouTube channel, share it on Facebook. We got an Instagram, is literally While Our Kids Are Sleeping, all one word. So please check that out. Maybe we'll have clips of the boys, clips of us, just the crazy things that we go through, are just a sneak peek of some of the episodes coming up. Like I said, very broad subjects.
We could talk about anything and everything.
And you usually do.
Yeah.
But, there'll be specific things that we'll talk about. Like, Erin is a mom, and so she has a lot of things that she's learned and a lot of things she will say, please don't do. I'm a dad. I have the exact same thing, but there's a lot of cool things that we hopefully can bring to the table that people will find interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully. Maybe not.
Or we just go on a tangent and just talk about random things and all that. So hopefully our nerves will go a little bit down. We'll have it it'll be more smoother. I don't even know if that's the right way of saying it.
More smooth.
This is why she's here. But yeah, so we're very, very excited, to do this. Mine's kind of gone blank, and I don't know what to do.
Acuna got beat by Alonso by 1 home run.
Well, so there goes that.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But yeah, again, Erin loves the Braves. It's kind of funny. We'll watch it they'll literally get the kids down in bed, throw it on the TV, and then
I'm already getting notifications while I'm trying to get Saint down of what's happening usually.
Yeah.
But,
So,
yeah.
So
it stinks because I was really hoping. Well, I know they'd already set the home run derby before they put in Riley into the All-Star game, and he said if he ever got to the All-Star game, he would definitely want to be part of the home run derby. But I think they already set it all up before he got kind of put in there as a last-minute thing, so he didn't get to do it.
Yeah, Erin talks like she's best friends with these guys. So, but I do the same. Like
I'm not talking like they're my best friends.
You are. But I do the same. Like I'm a big John Rahm fan. I like Cam Smith. I like Rory McIlroy.
He does talk about John Rahm. Like they talk on the phone every single night, they have like brunch once a month.
I wish. Gosh, I wish. No. But yeah, no. So we're passionate about certain things. Like speaking of golf, I do have my own golf channel. It's called Golf with Lamar. Check it out. It is the average player's player is what I call it, because I'm not anything great. I enjoy.
He always explains it to me as he plays bogey golf.
Yes, I play bogey golf. I'm very proud that I broke 90 a couple months ago, trying to stay in the 80s, but it's hot right now. It's insanely hot, and I don't want to make an excuse, but
everything he does better when it's not hot.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's filming at a wedding, whether it's anything that has the heat involved. You are not great in the heat, which I don't think anybody's great in the heat, but you really aren't great in the heat. So
yeah, it's terrible. We live in South Carolina and the humidity is awful, and anytime that we do travel for a wedding and it's cooler, I just don't want to leave. North Carolina, we've been to Virginia, and all that stuff.
I don't think I'd ever want to live in California, but when we did that wedding in California, the weather was
amazing.
It was August in San Diego, and I don't think it got above 70.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was, and we filmed right next to a beach, so it was a nice, cool breeze. It was awesome.
It was nice. I would never want to live there, but if I could take their weather and put it here, I would.
Yeah. It's always one of those things. I've always wanted to live somewhere you get all 4 seasons. Now I actually just want one season, and that's fall. I want only fall. I want it to be a nice, cool 70. Leaves can be whatever color. I don't care. But, nice fall. But, this is just us. We're going to have more organized episodes. I'm very excited about. We're working on them. We're going to do this once a week, I think is the plan, is we're going to post them once a week, probably Monday, Tuesdays, just beginning of the week, because then it gives us the rest of the week to get something together. Very excited about it. So,
that'll be fun.
Something we be talking about for a long time. Because see, I listen to podcasts every time I'm in the car. It's kind of bad. I don't even listen really that much music anymore, and so I listen to a lot of podcasts. Handful of my favorite ones are sports related, but they're kind of just more chilled and relaxed. Yeah. Yes, golf related. Anyways,
he got into it though with crime podcasts, and I've always been a big fan of crime documentaries and like investigation discovery and things like that. And they started bringing out these crime documentaries, not documentaries, podcasts, like crime podcasts, and he introduced me to them. And so anytime we go on like a road trip, we would listen to these crime podcasts, and it kind of just like escalated from there. You finding different podcasts you like. And
one of the first ones I liked was a really cool one. It's called the Vanished, I think it was called. It's really bad. I can't remember I think it's called Vanished.
Up and Vanished.
Thank you. Look at you.
Had to think about it for a second.
It's kind of cool because this guy literally, I don't even think he was a reporter or even a podcaster. He just came across this crime that happened, and he just started calling around, and apparently the murder that happened was right next to or near his grandmother's house, so he would just go visit, and this thing blew up.
Oh yeah.
Payne Lindsay, I think is his name. Check it out. It's very deep now. You kind of got a lot of information about it all. But like when I started listening to it, I think it was only like 2 or 3 months in. So I got kind of following him like week by week. Got intense. Really cool. And then so we have
I listen to pretty much talk radio. I mean, which they're podcasts, but they make the podcast and then they put them on the radio, which I didn't realize that's what it was until like I've already been listening to it for 6 months, and then they're like, oh, you can listen to it on my podcast, and I'm like, I didn't realize this was a podcast.
Who do you like listening to?
I like listening to Clay and Buck, the Clay and Buck show.
Which is so crazy because Clay Travis was on Fox Sports Radio, which I listen to all the time. And I kind of liked how he approached things. But then
I like how he does that now. Like, I mean, they talk about, news and politics and things like that. But because Clay was in the sports area for so long, he always incorporates sports into there. And Buck is not a sports guy, even though his whole like family is, apparently, just from how he explains everything on there. But he's not a big sports guy, so anytime like Clay is talking to him about it, they have good like banter back and forth because Buck has like no idea. yeah. Anytime we get in our Subaru, because that's what Aaron drives, it's constantly playing like whatever channel that is, and it's like an AM channel. I listen to that, and then I listen to the Braves on the FM radio station. Locally,
and so I'll turn it down. She's like, "No, why are you turning that down?" And I was like, "Because I don't want to listen to this." And she's like, "No, we're listening to it. You're in my car." And I'm like, "Whatever." But yeah, and so yeah. Anyways, true crime podcasts, radio, but not really radio. I guess that's kind of funny. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a podcast. You can go just go on Spotify, listen to him. Listen to them, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
That's how that's how they had to do that because of COVID and everything. So like I think Clay lives in Tennessee, so he'd have his studio there, and then Buck would have his in New York, and they travel to the different locations where they have like big fan bases and things like that. So they go to Florida a lot because they have a really big fan base there.
I know Clay really likes Nashville. Doesn't
he?
Does he live there?
He lives somewhere, Knoxville or Nashville, one of those places in Tennessee. I don't know. Yeah. I don't.
But yeah, that's cool. So
I'm not friends with him, so I couldn't tell you.
Anywho, it's so funny. Did Buck just get engaged or something?
He did.
Yeah,
They made a big deal about it, but they posted it on Instagram like immediately, and I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, Aaron was like, it was like one of her best friends got engaged.
It was not. You were exaggerating.
No, you were very excited for him, and.
But that's
anyways,
awesome. He's like 40 years old, and this is the first time he's getting engaged.
When John Rahm announced that he was having his second kid, I was like, hey babe, guess what? John Rahm's having a second kid.
I thought we were sending a gift. I didn't know what was going on.
I mean, we can. John,
I don't think he needs anything.
John, I know you're gonna watch this because I'll send it to you on the IG. Just let us know where your registration is. We'll take care of you. Anyways, as if he needs me to take care.
Yeah, I think he's got it, babe. I think we're good.
But no, I listened to one of my favorite ones. And we're gonna take a little bit of something from their podcast, and we're gonna apply it in a second, and you'll hear about it. It's called Brilliantly Dumb, and Brilliantly Dumb is Rob Berger, and you got Joey Colcuts. I actually don't know his last name because how they call it Giuseppe, Joey Colcuts, whatever. But Bob Fairways, but Bob does sports. I mean, he's massive on TikTok. Kind of came across him. He used to do friendly heckling to all the professional golfers.
It's hilarious. He let me watch some of the videos, and I would never have the guts to do it, but he's hilarious.
But they literally get on and they do Zoom call. I'm pretty sure it's a Zoom call. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It looks like a Zoom call. And they sit there and they just go back and forth. They kind of pick on each other and just say all kinds of things to each other. It's hilarious. They talk a lot of sports. They are into gambling. They do a lot of prize picks things. But I really, really enjoy listening to them. And then you got other ones, I can go down the list, but
I don't. I mean, I do I listen to some audiobooks sometimes, but I prefer to read them than listen to the audiobooks because unfortunately a lot of the people they have to like read those audiobooks make things really awkward.
Yeah.
Just really strange.
Well, speaking of books, let's just get this straight. And she's probably not going to say. Erin loves reading. Like, when I say loves reading, like, loves it. And let's just say, the last time I asked her was a couple months ago. And I said, how many books have you read this year? Go ahead, bring it up. And I think it was like over 100. And
it is over 100.
She's about to check.
Let's see.
And so this is usually what this is Erin's day. Erin is wakes up, an amazing mom to our children, to my children. That's kind of funny. Anyways, to our children, is with them all day. We do have a sitter, Gina. You rock.
Oh, she's great.
Oh, phenomenal. Our boys literally probably love her more than us.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Captain asks me every Friday, even though she doesn't watch them on Fridays, she watches them on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He's like, I need to see my Gina. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do about that?
Yeah.
What about me?
What about your mommy?
What about me?
Or your dad?
Yeah, no. I mean, we'll see her, and if she's at church or if we just see her anywhere, Saint's like, Gina has his hands out to her, pick me up. And I'm like,
yeah.
What am I?
She's pretty much, she's
but
phenomenal. We love her so much. Gives you the opportunity to
edit videos for Drew plus
Okay,
Erin.
pause. Is that the number? Oh my gosh. Anyways, we'll get back to it. But she's phenomenal. But Erin, she works Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, like she was saying. Does probably 90% of all the editing for Drew plus Erin. She started that about a year or two ago.
After Lion was born.
Lion was born.
Yeah. So 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. But kills it. And then I come in and we do color correction, so on and so forth. We'll get to that later. But when she has a time, she reads. Now, I will say, you have said this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're a speed reader, right?
I am a speed reader. So usually by the second chapter of a book, I know whether I'm going to read this book in depth or if I'm going to speed read through it. And speed read through it just means I like the idea of the book, but it seems like it has a lot of repetitive nature to it. So like if you ever read a book, sometimes the author will repeat the same thing over and over again in like different chapters, and you're like, why am I reading the same information over and over again? So when I notice that happening, I will sometimes just like speed read through it, but I am a speed reader.
Yeah. So Erin, why don't you go ahead and reveal?
So according to my Kindle, which some of this is inaccurate,
and I don't know why I'm acting like, oh, I can't believe this. This is actually phenomenal.
I've read 415 books since January 1st of this year.
415, not 41, not 15, not 45.
Now, mind you, these books are anywhere
415.
These books are anywhere from 250 pages to 900 pages long. Most of the books I read are not 900 pages long. I would say on average, the books I read probably range between 300 to 400 pages. That's an average book for me. If it's less than, I won't read anything that's smaller than 250 pages because I know I'm just saying, like, if I read something,
if it's under 200 pages, garbage.
It's not that. Now, if it's like a novella or something that's attached to a series I've been reading, I will read it. But if it's just like the standalone book and it's smaller than 250 pages, I more than likely will not read it because it's probably just like a shallow, fun kind of get through your day book. And when I read a book, I want like an in-depth story. I want something like to hold on to, something that's going to hang with me for a while. So some of these books, like I said, I would speed read through them. So that's what I mean by it's not a completely accurate number. I didn't like spend time sitting down digesting every single one of those books.
But still, 415, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean
even if you didn't do that, let's cut that in half. There's 200. Like, I don't even think I've read 200 books in my life. Actually, I know for a fact I have not read 200 books in my life.
And you have to think too, how I do it is when I do have spare time, I read. So like if I'm editing, we have to import all of our footage, which sometimes can take, 30 minutes depending on how many clips I'm importing. So I will read while I'm importing, or I read at night when the boys go to bed, or I read when I'm rocking Saint to sleep, or, any kind of spare time I have when I'm not entertaining kids or talking with you or watching the Braves play, I'm reading a book.
Yeah.
Or editing. But
yeah, it is funny because sometimes we'll get in the car and I'll be like, hey, I'll be like, spend time with me. Could you not read? And it's like, and she does, and it's just always funny because I'll see her on her phone, and it's so funny when she's in a good part of the book, like she has a smirk on her face, and so I'll see her in a corner, like over on our couch over here, and she'll have a smirk on her face. And I was like, is that a good part or something? And she's like, what? I'm like what you're reading, is it good? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, you're smirking. She goes, oh, I didn't even realize that. So, anywho. But yeah, so Erin loves reading. I barely know how.
Kindle is. I would say we have to say that we have Kindle Unlimited, so we spend like $10 a month, and if these authors put their books on there, I read them for free. Now, not every book I read is for free. Some of them I do pay for.
Kindle, you're not a sponsor yet, but if you want to sponsor us, we got you.
I never
you
thought
got a member right there.
Well, I never thought I'd be an ebook reader because, like, all growing up, Marcia and Grandma were all like, all about the hardback books, paperback books, something you can hold, touch, feel, have forever. And then Kindle came out, and of course they did read through the Kindle, but Marcia was all about audiobooks because she was always in the car driving. Anytime we went on vacation, audiobook on. Anytime I went to the grocery store with her, audiobook on.
Yeah.
And at night she would read in her book. But when I had, was it Captain?
I think it was Captain. It had to be.
Might have been Lion. When I had Captain, I did reread the Harry Potter books over, but I read those, my hardbacks.
Yeah.
And I read those like not hundreds, that's exaggerating. I read them multiple times.
Yeah.
And so I just reread them after I had him, because sitting at home wasn't doing anything, and couldn't find anything on TV I really wanted to watch. Like, no TV shows were striking my interest, and I'd already watched the ones I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And then I think when Lion came, I just was like, I want to do something besides watch TV. I want something else to do, and I haven't read since.
Well, and we'll get down to it, and you've heard our boys' names, Captain, Lion, and Saint. We'll talk about that, another episode.
Squeeze those in there.
Yeah. But Lion, he got real sick, and that might have been where you started. That's it. Because you didn't have a lot of TV. I mean, they barely gave you if you've been in a hospital longer than a day, you realize you only have the local channels, maybe, and so she started reading.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he was in the hospital for like a month almost, and so TV, like Friends would be on TV, and The Office would be on TV. And that was all I had. So he would bring the laptop, and I could watch it on the laptop, or I could, read the books. And so I think that's where I started reading again, because I needed something to do while he was. I couldn't do anything for him, so I needed something to do. Yeah,
it's kind of cool. She has certain types of books that she reads, and she'll definitely probably tell you more about that later, but sometimes she'll see people go, hey, has anyone read this book? And she's like, yeah. And then she's able to kind of give them a review. And you actually write reviews for certain books.
I do. If I really, really like an author, or really, really connect with a book, I will write a review on it. I don't write a review for every book I read, but I will rate it so that they have a rating on it. But
and she keeps it. You keep it anonymous, don't you?
No, it's on there. I think it has my name on it.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just write the review and submit it. So
when they're bad, she goes by Erin Smith, not Eubanks.
Not Eubanks. I use my maiden name.
But anyway, so I like podcasts. She loves to read. You like podcasts too.
I do.
But the little bit of chunks about us, and hopefully you'll get to know us more. But, that's kind of what we wanted to do, kind of just explain why we like certain things.
Well, you never did explain what we were taking from Brilliantly Done.
Yes, yeah. So I'll go, it kind of came up with, they came up with it. I said, hey, let's do this. And then you came up with the title to kind of make of our own.
I didn't do it on purpose.
She didn't do it on purpose. So
it just came out.
On the podcast, they do a top 5. And you're like, okay, what's the big deal about that? Now, their top 5 it's unique things. Like, I think previously was like their top 5 bottled waters. Top 5, nuts. like peanuts, cashews, stuff like that. You're terrible. Anyways, pastas. One was really cool. Was like, what athlete would you let date your sister, and stuff like that. So they did really unique ones. Now, I was like, hey, let's do this. It can kind of give us a little something to people maybe to look forward to in the
have some input into, kind of something they can connect with us with.
Be like, I can't believe he likes that.
Yeah.
Or, wow,
or like,
I
what
like that
is she
too.
talking about?
Or, maybe we mentioned something that other people don't realize that we know about. Whatever. Anyways, we're in the car and we're talking about this episode, and Aaron's like, won't we call it our favorite 5? And I was like, sweet, favorite 5. That can be our thing. So this is our favorite 5 segment. We're going to keep it really simple, but we found out it really wasn't that simple.
Yeah, it was actually really hard when he was like, all right, Aaron, you need to think about like your favorite 5 movies. And I was like, what in the world? And so I needed to clarify that when I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, you have different levels of movies. So like when you say your favorite 5 movies, do you want me to tell you like the 5 top movies I think were done well, like in terms of this movie was filmed really well, the plot was like insane, the acting was insane? Or do you want me to go with like the top 5 movies that if they're on TV or or I'm having a bad day, or just a movie I'm going to go to regardless, a movie I'm going to watch over and over and over again? Because I feel like those are 2 totally different things. You can have a movie that you watch over and over again, but that might have been, like in somebody else's mind, like a B grade movie. Yeah.
No, I think this time it's that.
Okay.
It's we're going to have some movies that I've even left out in my top 5 that I was like, okay, these are freaking awesome movies. I love them, but is it my go-to on a sad day, happy day, or like, I have nothing, I don't know what to watch. Well, here's one of my favorites. Let's watch it, kind of thing. So, I got my 5 ready to go. I will say I have an honorable mention, but I may or may not use it. Okay, I have an honorable mention. If you don't have one, I'll just throw it out there. Anyways, that was very confusing.
You have an honorable mention. You'll mention it.
Continue. All right, so top 5. These are top 5 movies that mean a lot to me. I really like. You'll kind of get the vibe on what I like.
I don't actually know what these top 5 are, but I think I probably know 2 of them off the top of my head. Like I think I could probably.
So number 5 is Crazy Stupid Love. I love Steve. I love Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell. The Office. I personally think everything that he touched, funny, bad, drama, not bad, funny, drama, kids movies, is just gold. I really like him. I think Steve Carell is great. He has other movies out there that are great, but this is one that I was like, you could find on TBS, and you could sit back and you realize that you just watched a whole movie and you didn't realize it's that good. But yeah, Crazy Stupid Love, I love that.
Okay.
Number 4 is going to be a little bit of a shocker because I don't think we've ever talked about this, but Alpha Dog.
Okay.
Has Justin Timberlake in it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's some other guys. I can't think of their name at this moment. Really good movie. A lot of stories in this movie. Very youthy. Now, mind you, this came out a while back. I think it was one of Justin Timberlake's very first movies, but I really, really enjoyed it. Number 3, The Greatest Game Ever Played. Just watched it. I could not stop talking about it when we were watching it because at the time it was the U.S. Open, and that's what it's all about, golf. U.S. Open. Shia LaBeouf's in it. Shia LaBeouf is one of my favorite actors. And so, yeah, number 3. Number 2, Patch Adams.
Well, I'm not surprised because you're a big Robin Williams fan.
I love Robin Williams. It's one of my favorite. It was very tough not to put like Jack in there. A lot of people don't even know what that movie is, but it's a Robin Williams film that I love. But out of the few, he's actually my top 2. Number 1 is he's in my number 1 movie. But yeah, Patch Adams.
I know your number one movie.
Yeah,
I know it because you haven't said it yet, so I know it's got to be that.
Yeah. But Patch Adams, brilliant, very well done. Sad, has sad moments, but it's amazing. But my number one movie that I truly just love every minute of it, and I think it's just brilliant from how it was even thought of and created and written, and how they accomplished it, was Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams is in that. He's the therapist for Matt Damon. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, Matt Damon. Mm-hmm. My mind just went blank. Excuse me. So sorry. And then Ben Affleck's in it. And just a little fun fact, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon wrote the movie and directed the movie, and they were ecstatic when Robin Williams accepted the role that he took. But everything about that movie is just brilliant to me. Love it. There's a handful of others that I like Dead Poet Society, Robin Williams, really good. It was probably my honorable mention. I really love it. And then another Shia LaBeouf movie, and I'll throw it in there. Fury was really good. Now, mind you, I don't watch a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm. We're more TV shows or documentaries. We've been watching a lot of documentaries. Recently,
like true crime documentaries. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know for a fact what Erin's number one is.
So, should I start with number one then?
No.
Okay.
You always go down.
Okay. So here's my problem, and it's not a problem per se, but I'll start this at number 5, and honestly, it might be a little higher. And it might shock you, but the 300.
That definitely shocked me.
Love the movie. I love Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Stop. Okay, no, but seriously, I love the movie. I like time period pieces.
Mm-hmm. You do.
And, We Are Sparta. You can't not see that scene and be like, you just witnessed something crazy just happened.
300's good.
But yeah, that's something, if it's on TV, if I'm at my mom's house and I'm scrolling through the channels and it's on, I'm going to watch it. If I see it on Netflix, if I see it on something and I don't have anything to watch, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to watch it. So there's that. I'm going to say my number 4, and this was hard for me, but I had to think about, necessarily something that I've in the past gone to a lot. And again, we have not watched movies in a long time. We just don't have time to sit down and invest in movies. It's very uncommon for us to get to do that. But Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, I had a feeling that one was in there somewhere for you.
If I had, again, I love time period pieces. It was so well done. I read the book, and I just thought that it really they did a good job representing the characters. Just the whole thing was really good. It's kind of gives you that when you think of London, you think of that time period, you think of dreary kind of moodiness, and I would say the whole movie kind of had that vibe to it. But in general, they just executed it well, and it's something that I will watch over and over again. I always enjoy watching it. Number 3 was Strange. But I don't know if I'm going to it's not Strange. I don't know if I need to say it as a series.
I thought you were saying the movie The Strange. I was like, okay.
What is that?
I don't know.
Movie?
I mean,
The Strangers is a movie that's a horror movie, and it's not in my top. It's not there. It would be probably the Harry Potter series.
Okay.
If I'm going to say the series, if I have to pick a movie out of the series, if you want to get super picky about it, probably the third, The Prisoner of Azkaban, and only because I remember growing up and seeing that movie 4 times in theaters because I loved it so much. I made Marcia take me 4 times, and I counted it 4 times. One of those times was in Charleston because we were there for vacation, and I said, I want to go see Harry Potter again. But if I would also almost tie that with The Half-Blood Prince, the 6th one, because as an adult, that's probably my favorite of them, of the movies. But so that would be 3. Number 2 was, I actually didn't have a number 2, so I really had a top 4. So I was trying to find a number 2 because, again, kind of hard for me. But I will say that, and I hate saying this is one of my favorite movies. I don't hate saying it, but it's not something that I watch all the time, but it's something I've watched multiple times, is The Lincoln Lawyer.
I was going to say that.
I watched it.
You really, you like it. You've seen all the ones. Isn't there one? No.
Lincoln Lawyers it's by itself.
Yeah.
But
never mind. Sorry about it.
But I like Matthew McConaughey.
Mm-hmm.
I like,
now, would you put Harry Potter before that, though?
Probably. So it'd probably be 3. And I almost said Law Abiding Citizen with
Gerard Butler.
With Gerard Butler. But I think I've watched Lincoln Lawyer more than I've watched that. Mm-hmm. Now, number 1, I don't think this is going to shock anybody that knows me.
If they know you.
If they know me and they know I haven't said this yet, then they know it's coming. It's the Lord of the Rings series. And Andrew had like a little fight with me about telling me I had to pick one of the 3 because he knew what my number 1 was. And I just think that that's blasphemy that I should have to pick one of the 3 because they won 19 Oscars as a collective trilogy. Mm-hmm. Like, in series, they won 19 Oscars.
Oh, no.
Okay? So, blasphemy. I'm not choosing one. I'm not.
Okay, you don't have to choose one.
Thank you.
I get that. I understand that.
I think of them as like a whole story.
Here's the thing about Erin. So when she's sad, like the saddest she is, or when she's going through something, she usually throws on Lord of the Rings. Now being a mom, you have other distractions, you have other things. So when you're sad, you talk to me, or you know,
I read a book.
You read a book, or you have the boys. But I remember when we were dating, you know, she was watching Lord of the Rings. Like, not that she was sad while we were dating. Anyways, she had told me she really liked it, but we would get to the 3rd movie. And right before the scene where Frodo and them are standing there, and
Aragorn says, "You bow to no me, to no one.
You bow to no one." She stands up and she turns it off, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, this isn't the last scene. If I see the last scene, then that means I." Like, what would you read? You basically didn't want to finish it.
I don't like finishing it. It's terrible. I watched that scene and I'm like, okay, I'm not finishing this movie because then it's like over. I don't like things to be over. I hate when things have like an ending to them. I know that's weird, but so when I watch that, like if I go all the way to the end and I finish the movie, I feel like my life is like over. Like, what have I done?
Yeah, I get
what is going on? So I don't. And
life's not over, but I get what you're saying.
But it is something that I will collectively watch at least once a year. It's something I watch during every holiday season. Same thing with kind of Harry Potter. I mean, I feel like everybody watches Harry Potter in the holiday seasons. But Lord of the Rings is something I'm going to watch every year, every holiday season, never going to fail. Mm-hmm. And I only watch the extended editions because the theatrical editions are like bull crap.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, but the other ones are just pretty much taking a whole week out of your life.
Listen, if I could have a whole episode of explaining to you the depth of Lord of the Rings and you tell me how you can cut out the stuff they cut out
I know,
and then put it in theaters, saying. It's ridiculous. I will say
anyone that loves Lord of the Rings are on your side. They 100%. I know if Luke Jones is listening to this, he's going to be on your side.
Yeah.
I mean, even Silas.
Well, see, the Evans Theater does, they do the, like, what is it called? Like throwback movies or something like that. And they'll put in movies that are older, bring them back into theaters. And they did that with Lord of the Rings during COVID when they finally opened everything back up. They did each extended edition per week. So the Fellowship one week, the Two Towers the next week, and the Return of the King the next week. And I did go and watch them, but they were the extended editions, and they are long. Like, I mean, it's not, you know, an easy feat. If you remember DVDs, and I do have the DVD set of the extended editions, they are 2 DVDs per movie. Yeah. Because it's like part 1 and then part 2, and then it's that way for all of them.
Well, cool. So. No, I think there's a good top 5. I mean, it's our first ones to do. It was not easy. From like I knew Patch Adams and Good Will Hunting was no doubt in my top. I knew I had to just pick which Shia LaBeouf movie I liked the most, and I think, you know, that one's good. Fury's good. Anyway, so on and so forth. So
yeah, I mean, I had like a whole list. I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, I love that movie. I love that movie. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, but
and maybe maybe we tweak this and we say part 2. Like
this might be something we do every other episode, or maybe like once every 5 episodes we bring back some more movies that we like. Yeah,
or something like that. But yeah, my mind just went blank. But we'll probably post a picture of the movies. Erin's, mine, and you tell us which one you like the most. Who do you relate with the most? It's really funny is I think I have more drama movies.
You do.
And you have almost every action.
I do. Yeah.
Well, Harry Potter. But
Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings are definitely more adventure. Yeah, adventure. I would say.
Kind of not sci-fi, but fantasy kind
of adventure, and then Lincoln Lawyer is more of a
300.
300 is action.
You had Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah. I did. That was a time period drama.
So yeah, well, cool. I think it was awesome. Really shocked we made it. I think we're almost at 45 minutes. I don't know. Anyways,
I'm not shocked. I figured we would make it about to like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. We're very excited. I will say, people that know us, I am the talker out of the two, so I think a lot of people are going to be shocked with how much you talked.
Probably, yeah.
They're going to be like, "Whoa, Erin talked a good bit."
Yeah.
Drew listened well. Anyways,
it is usually the opposite. You usually do talk.
Well, real quick, and this is totally new for me. I'm going to do. Make sure to subscribe to our page on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Hit the subscribe button. I guess the notification, so whenever we get things, and follow us on Instagram. We'll have a Facebook page.
I didn't even realize we had an Instagram yet. I didn't realize he had made one, and then I was on my Drew plus Erin Instagram, and it would, it shows you who you should follow sometimes, and it brought it up, and I was like, Andrew, I'm thinking someone stole our whole idea, our concept, everything. And then I was like, oh, you already made an Instagram.
Yeah.
So then I felt not smart. Yeah. So it's fine.
No, it's all right. You didn't know. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook. If you do Facebook, I know a lot of people don't, or they do. Anyways, MySpace. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I guess thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We're going to try to do a handful more of these. Please let us know. Comment. Let us know what you think. If you know of any cool top favorite 5s that we should do, let us know. Yeah. And then if you want any topics or ask us any questions or anything like that, we'll definitely answer them. I think this was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
It's pretty cool. If you think it's lame, also let us know.
I mean, let us know. We're probably going to still do it.
We're probably going to still do it, yeah.
Because we really want to.
But we need to know that we're lame so that we can work around it.
Yeah. I wonder what our kids are going to think one day when they listen through this.
Well, Lion's going to judge us.
He is.
Lion's going to judge us.
Well, babe, I love you.
I love you too.
Cool. I knew you were going to be like,
weird.
What the heck? Anyways.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for listening. And this was an episode of While Our Kids Were Sleeping.
Almost said it was episode of Drew plus Erin, but that's not a thing. So
follow Golf with Lamar. I need the likes. I need the follows. Anyway, sorry. So Drew plus Erin, Golf with Lamar, While Our Kids Are Sleeping. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Come hang out with us in about a week.
Yeah. All right. See ya then.
See ya.